You see, these top players,
是的，
let me start with Ovcharov. He's better at mid to long distance shots, right? Isn't Ovcharov known for his powerful and open style? Isn't it all about big movements for him? Ovcharov's short court game isn't as strong, right? Including Zhang Jike's looping shots. How does Zhang Jike generate such spin on his shots? This is how he adds the spin. The loops he produces have a great arc and exceptional stability. Look at how Zhang Jike plays. He doesn't loop like Ovcharov does. You can't get that much spin using such big motions. Do you know where the stability comes from? Breaking, retracting the forearm. I'll demonstrate a loop for everyone. Okay, everyone watch. One type of power generation. Right? He releases all his power. But the shot's trajectory is straight. This shot either hits the net or flies straight out. 4 shots below the net. If you don't have strong skill, you need to create a good arc. For those who often hit their shots into the net, I'll share a training method with you. First, loop upwards. Aim to loop out of the table. It's okay if it goes out. Then adjust downward. If you're always hitting the net, adjusting upwards is harder. So adjust from up to down. First, loop the shot high. Start by looping high, right? Even if it goes out of the table, that's fine. Then gradually lower it. Gradually bring it down. It's okay if it goes out. Then gradually shorten the shot. You'll naturally find the feeling in your wrist. If you always loop out, it's because you can't control it. The more you want to loop long shots, the more you extend your motion forward. Look from the side. How do we loop in rallies? We loop this way in rallies. The ball is sent forward. But the shorter the shot, the different our loop. It's all about that final motion. By controlling with the forearm, shorten the shot. I want to loop the shot a bit shorter. Let me demonstrate. If I use this motion, I can't loop short shots. With this kind of motion, no matter how thin I loop it, I can't make it short, because my motion is forward. If I don't retract my forearm, I'm using a forward motion. This kind of motion is used for rallies, right? When you don't need to add arc, you push your arm forward.
没错，
Whenever I want to loop a shorter shot, I always use my forearm. Retract the forearm quickly, using the fingers and wrist for breaking. Watch how I loop high and short shots. Retract the forearm quickly, use the fingers and wrist for breaking. Only then can you make the shot short and create the loop. Add that arc to the shot. Now, why do you see big movements in rallies? Why don't we use small motions far from the table, but watch near the table? When we play close to the table, it's much faster. Why? That's because big movements take too long, and with big movements, the shot would fly off. Does that make sense?
对，
If you want to loop a shorter shot, create that arc so it lands on the table more often. We need to make this motion smaller. Let me show you a couple more. First, with power. I'm not going to retract the force. See, going forward? I'm not retracting the force. Watch my motion. I'm not retracting the force. It's a forward motion. When I loop to the diagonal, no problem. I can aim right at the corners. Long shots are harder to defend. Do you see how when players put power into a shot, the shot goes out? Why is that? Because you didn't retract. Let me show you again. When we want to increase the shot landing on the table during a match, we need to restore stability like this. I'm increasing the time the ball stays on the paddle. Right? This is a common shot during matches.